Hello, Oracles. Are Tesla shorts about to burn? So I don't know. We've got Elon looking out here with some knowledge that many people don't have with the potential to burn some shorts. We know that Elon loves doing this, especially when you go back to the 2018 era when Tesla was the most shorted stock that was on the market, perhaps the most shorted stock in history, according to Elon. So, what does he have going on right now that could potentially burn a lot of these shorts? Well, I know a lot of us are hoping that this is going to happen just because of how much we have fallen so far. We're going to dive quickly into the charts in a moment, but we're falling down this far, and would burning shorts right now actually recover us a lot? I don't really know how much we would actually recover, but we're going to run through a scenario right now that could potentially play out depending on what Elon and Tesla do that could burn some of these shorts that only they are privy to the information of. So, right now, we have a lot of shorts coming out at the moment because Elon is selling Tesla stock, or he sold Tesla stock. And because of the fact that he told us that he sold it in order to save Twitter, that kind of left things open ended. If Elon said that he was selling Tesla stock in order to finish paying for Twitter, we would do the math. Elon was done selling. We're good to go. No worries about Elon selling in the future. Big money would have come back in. But because of the fact that Elon told us that he was doing it for the purposes of saving Twitter, we don't know if he has to sell more. Big money is going to be smart. Big money is not going to come back into the stock if Elon does have to sell more shares. They're going to wait to get that confirmation. Meanwhile, knowing the fact that we have big money that is not going to be buying in heavily anytime soon, we have people coming out and shorting the stock intentionally. Quite honestly, if somebody was going to go out there and short a stock, that would be wise because just of the fact that they know that big money is not going to be coming in anytime soon, you might as well short and make some money on it, thereby driving down the stock price even further. This is what we have been seeing a lot of lately. We have been seeing a lot of shorts coming in, pushing the stock price down even further. A lot of people are coming out here pointing out and saying it's Elon's fault that all of this is happening. We can argue that, sure, because if Elon had come out and said, "Hey, I'm done selling, my stock," we wouldn't have this issue. If Elon said that I was only selling Twitter stock for, to finish off the sale, we would not be having this issue. If Elon didn't buy Twitter at all, we would not be having this issue. But we also have the shorts coming out taking advantage of that. So while Elon may have been the catalyst, it is a lot of the shorts that are coming out that are forcing this hand going on. But now here's where it can turn around. People are coming out saying Tesla should do a buyback. However, Tesla's not going to be doing a buyback until they know that Elon is going to be done selling. So Elon is the only one who knows when Elon is going to be done selling. We know for sure that Elon will not sell any more for Twitter when we know that Twitter is solvent again and does not need any extra money from the side from Elon to keep it afloat. So, where do we go from here in the future? So, we've got Elon with that knowledge of knowing all this. We've got Tesla who won't do a buyback either until then. When that happens, we will have mass money pouring in. Don't forget that Tesla just got investment grade rating from the S&P. We are still awaiting Moody's to come out and do the same. We are anticipating that will happen most likely in the next month. If not, it'll happen early next year, probably when we get delivery numbers or we get the Cybertruck ordering page up. Who knows? Moody's is Moody. When that happens, we are going to have a lot of big money institutions being able to put money in. They will do that when they know that Elon is done selling for Twitter. When Tesla does the buyback, that will be the catalyst that will most likely drive a lot of big money back into the stock. They may not do it just dumping all of their money in. We are still in some difficult economic times with the potential deeper recession getting into, a lot of different things going on. So we may not see just a giant dump of money coming in, but we could probably see a good amount of big institutional money coming in at that point. So Elon knows when this is going to happen. Elon is potentially drawing in these people intentionally just so he can burn them on the other end. Now, I think timing wise, he's not just going to do it now. I think there's some things that need to fall into place before we get to that point. Maybe he is waiting for Twitter to actually become solvent. Maybe he's not sure yet. Maybe, we're not sure when it comes to Tesla and the buyback if the stock is going to pull down further. Because don't forget, if we're seeing the short attack going on, Tesla wants to do a buyback. $5 to $10 billion could go a lot further when the stock price is lower. We talk about it on here all the time, which is why I dollar cost average and even putting in $25 a day buys more and more when you have a lower stock price. So this could be something that could potentially be going on as well. Lots of different factors that are going on right now, but it'll be that moment, and Elon can literally be the one who pulls that trigger and says, "Time to burn the shorts." That's it. So we've seen him tweet things out like that in the past. I don't know if we're going to get a signal like that in the future when he's going to actually make this happen. But I'm going to be paying attention to it because the moment he makes that call and says, I am done selling, or if Tesla decides that they're going to do a buyback, that is a huge indication that Elon is not going to be selling anymore. That's a huge indication that we are going to see big money coming back in and pushing the stock price higher. But no, of course, we don't know how much lower it's going to go before that happens, but this is my theory as to what is potentially going to be playing out. And as soon as Elon makes that call, shorts will burn. And so looking at the charts here, we are now back down into oversold range when it comes to the RSI at 28.31. We have dipped down there several times this year already, back in October. Earlier this month we did it. Now we're back in it again. So who knows? I mean, being down 6.84% on the day, not pretty, of course not. We were talking about, are we going to consolidate or dead cat bounce? I was saying I think it's looking like a dead cat bounce, and sure enough, that's exactly what it was. We popped up a little bit, and now we're back into this downward channel on this dead cat bounce again. So how far down do we go? Well, again, we've got that gap down to 137. We've got support levels at that 169 mark, which is exactly where we landed today. So we can see the line that I have drawn here at 167.19. Below this, we have a level at 150.53. So that's typically a psychological level as well. And then below that, we've got that level of support at 137.80, which is filling that gap. So these are the levels below us that I'm paying attention to, just in case we bounce down further. This is what I'm watching. And again, this is where I set my buys in. So I had my buy today in at 171. I added 10 extra dollars at that level. If we end up pulling down below this 167, I don't think I'll wait till 150 to put in more. I think at that point, I'll probably put some in at 160 if we pull down to that level, just to add a little bit there. But I do have some cash that I am saving up on the side. And with that cash, I am waiting for that 150 level if we end up getting down there. If we hit that 150, I will deploy some of that extra cash on the side. And so one of the other things that I'm doing right now with my money, just because we don't know when the stock market's going to turn around. We don't know if or when Elon is going to make this turn when it comes to burning all these shorts and turning the stock price back up. We need a lot of good catalysts coming in, not just from Tesla, but we need a lot of good catalysts from the macro environment as well. So we have the CPI and PPI data coming out in a few weeks. We are going to get the next FOMC meeting shortly thereafter that, and that will lead us into the end of the year. Then, of course, we get production and delivery numbers. We will see that probably around January 2nd is usually the second of the month when it comes out. So some things going on between now and then. That'll have a lot of questions get answered. Are delivery problems going to be an issue? Are we going to hit 50% year over year growth when it comes to deliveries? Lots of things that still need to get answered over the next month. We've got the semi getting delivered. We've got FSD going to wide release. I had mentioned it this morning in the short that I put out. Guys can let me know if you liked that short. I'm going to start doing some of those when I get some like breaking news. I'll throw in some shorts to you guys for that. And so it looks like we've got version 11 that's going to be going wide release to probably some more employees, and maybe to some of the people that were early into the program as well may get that before Thanksgiving. But Elon said it's going to go wide release within the next month. So probably sometime in December, we will end up seeing that wide release. We did get some clarification as to what wide release is. It is US and Canada. So we had some talks earlier about the fact that wide release could be on a global basis. We have not gotten confirmation on that yet. The only confirmation that we have is going to be US and Canada. And so finding places to put your money, I still think that these are going to be great buying times. I think that even if we dip down further, we are going to look back at these times and say, I wish I bought more back then. Nobody can time the bottom. So, I think this is that range that's going to be good. But hey, I could be wrong. I thought right around that $247 range was also good. So just take that with a grain of salt. But I'm still continuing to add. However, sometimes you look and say, well, it's great that I'm adding into Tesla. That's where the majority of my money is going. However, where are some areas that I can actually make some money right now, despite the fact that Tesla stock is pulling down? Well, my dad had mentioned to me some CDs. So again, I had mentioned this once before. I make no money on promoting any of this, by the way. Now, it's just something that I'm doing because I think it's valuable to me and it could be valuable to you guys. So TD Ameritrade has a CD program. You can go in there. It's got 1 month, 2 month, 3 month CDs you can get in for. And right now I saw one yesterday for 3.9%. So I'll end up getting probably like 1/3% back on my money within that month. Quite honestly, it's way better than savings. Right now, I have, you guys who follow my financials as a member or patron, you can see that I've got about $25,000 right now in savings that I'm looking to buy a house with. Well, we know full well the housing market still has a ways to crash. So we probably have 6 months or so before that's going to happen. So instead of my money sitting in savings and not really doing anything for me, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this money into the CDs. And I'm just going to do it in $5,000 lump sums. So I'll do 4 different ones for $5,000. So just in case I need that money at some point, I'll get it out. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'll make some more money back instead of just having it sit in my savings. So that's what I'm going to do. So I know around the world, I'm not fully aware of what it's like around the world. So if you guys are in different countries that don't offer things like that, just let me know. So this way, other people that are subscribing to this channel as well would be able to know from your country, if they're there, what might actually benefit them also. So this is where I'm going to be doing that. So here in the US, I've got that. So take a look at your brokers that you guys have. Could be something beneficial. Again, this is not financial advice. You guys need to do your own due diligence. But to me, it makes a lot of sense to put my money there. Another place could be in some dividend stocks. I don't usually buy stocks strictly because of the dividends, because they don't pay as much as something could be like growing, especially in a bull market. Dividend stocks are great, but in a bull market, you kind of want to have some growth. I can make a lot more money on Tesla than I can make on a dividend stock. However, I have QYLD. QYLD brings in 12% over the course of the year. That's significantly better than even inflation. So, because of the fact that I've got my money in there, I'm getting a decent return on that. That money ends up going right back into QYLD. Now, looking back at history, during that bull run that we were on, QYLD's returns were not as good as being in many growth stocks. It wasn't even as good as being in an index fund. However, right now, because of the fact that we are in this bear market, we are making more money on that QYLD dividend than I am from obviously being in a Tesla, which is down significantly over the course of the year. So, just some things to pay attention to. Nobody knows when this is going to turn around. So, we may very well turn around tomorrow, which I highly doubt, but maybe we turn around tomorrow, go back up, and you make more money than you would in a dividend stock. But again, this is why you've got to do your own due diligence and research. But for me personally, I think having my money in that QYLD or a high dividend stock is going to net me better returns right now. When we do end up seeing the stock market turn around, I don't think it's going to be a sharp V shape like we saw coming out of COVID. I think it's going to be a slower return because there's a lot of people right now, because we've been in this for so long, a lot of people are very hesitant. We've seen a lot of fake rallies. We've seen a lot of bear market rallies. We've seen a lot of dead cat bounces going on. So people are going to be hesitant. They're going to be a little gun shy. So we're not sure what's going to happen. So I think when we do start to come out of this, it's going to take some time. That'll give us some time to be able to say, all right, now is going to be the time to take my money out of my dividend plays and put them over into the equity market again. So that's just my thought, and there's plenty of other options out there. If you guys have any other options yourself that you are in right now that you're actually making money with, feel free to share them in the comments. Again, none of this is going to be financial advice, just some ideas for people to look out for that they can do their own research on as well. And now going back to the shorts for a minute, we talk about greed and fear and the greed and fear index. We talk about FOMO, and then we talk about people who are paper handing. Well, greed works in both directions. Greed not only works when we're getting higher and people want to wait. I was like, oh, I want to sell it higher. I want to wait for it to be higher. It goes in the opposite direction also, especially when it comes to shorts. Shorts are trying to push it lower and lower to make more money. They're getting greedy on the bottom end. And again, this might be something that Elon is waiting for. He's waiting for those shorts to get to that peak greed point before he pulls that trigger. Again, that's just my theory, but this is why greed works on both ends of the spectrum. We are now getting to the point, and this is kind of where the RSI comes in. The RSI right now being oversold is kind of indicating that we are hitting peak greed on the shorting end of the stock right now. Could we come down further? Absolutely. But typically when you get below 30, you end up seeing some buying pressure coming back in. We may see that over the next couple of days, or we may see us drop down further for the next couple of days, and then come next Monday, we might end up seeing it going back up. Don't forget, it's Cyber Monday. Maybe we're going to get some sort of Cybertruck special coming out on that day as well. We had Cyber Whistle and Cyber Socks last year. I do own some Cyber Socks myself. That is going to be one of the giveaways we have at the end of this year for you guys, for whoever is closest to the price targets that we came up with a couple months ago. So we may see something like that. Maybe we get the Cybertruck ordering page coming out. I highly doubt it, but that would be pretty awesome. And I did want to give a shout out to Bruno of all people. He came up with probably the funniest name I have heard for Elon, and maybe I just haven't heard it, but he called him Electric Jesus. Like, to me, that was hilarious. Bruno, thank you for the laugh today. That was amazing. That just made my day. So that was awesome. So thank you for that. And I know you give a lot of people some crap in the comments, but that made my day. So yes, Elon is electric Jesus, and it's fantastic. And a lot of people are looking over at Twitter and pointing fingers at Elon and getting so mad at him. And they're saying, I've been getting a lot of comments on Twitter lately about people are pulling out of the stock because many more people hate Elon because he's going MAGA. And I'm like, look, we got to take our emotions out. That is all emotional reactions to all of this. When it comes to Elon, and I'm not going to get political now, but when it comes to Elon and politics, you got to look at voting. Almost half of the population doesn't vote at all. Something that a lot of people don't pay attention to is the indifference. So, yes, you can say that, a lot of people hate Elon, but Elon has more followers on Twitter than he has ever had before. We have more daily average users over on Twitter than we ever have before. The growth on Twitter and the excitement over there is greater than it has been in a very long time, if ever. So this tells me that there are a lot of people who at least respect Elon and feel that this platform is going to give them more of what they are looking for than people who don't feel like that. People who feel like things are getting taken away from them. So this tells me that there's a lot of indifference out there. So when it comes to people who are actually reacting to Elon, seems like there's more people who are reacting positively than negatively. And then don't forget that there's probably a majority of people out there who are indifferent and don't really give a crap either way. So when it comes to people who are saying people aren't going to buy Teslas anymore, there's a lot of people who are not buying Teslas just because of Elon. That may be true, but there's a lot of people who are indifferent, who are going to buy it regardless because they don't care. And as we can see by the followers over on Twitter, there's more people coming on. So there might actually be more people buying Teslas now just because of Elon. We have no proof behind any of this, but you could definitely tell just on a broad spectrum, this is how it naturally works. And looking at numbers from daily average users, looking at numbers from his followers, there's more people who are coming in than leaving. So those are the numbers I'm going by. So other than that, I don't have anything to prove that there's going to be more people buying Teslas just because of this. But use your common sense and figure it out for yourself. And you guys can let me know in the comments below what you think about that. But to me, that seems like there's more people that are coming in with a positive feeling and sentiment than negative sentiment behind this. Don't forget, we've got most people in the mainstream media who are going to be dictating how people are going to be feeling. And, when you're actually in on Twitter yourself, that's not really the feeling that I get right now. I'm getting the feeling of more positivity than negativity. So this is just my thoughts. You guys can definitely let me know your thoughts in the comments because I know many of you are on there as well. And if you guys don't follow me, I'm over there at Oracle Tim 1, and I will definitely follow you guys back as well because you guys give some great insights yourself. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think that Elon is just setting up these shorts to burn them in the future? If so, when do you think he's going to do it? And how low do you think we go before he ends up doing that and then Tesla does their buyback? Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate all of your support and feedback. If you have not subscribed, please do so down below. Sign yourself up for notifications. Again, I am over on Twitter at OracleTim1. I share all the latest Tesla news, pertinent stock market information, and all of my daily trades, like today when I added that $10 at 171. We also have a Discord chat. That link is down in the description. And if you'd like to support the channel any further, we do have that membership program and Patreon. Those links are also in the description. Thank you so much. Have a great one.